Welcome back to ABC Pink. We are having Nyoh Derek, Cameroon #1 player for the past 3 years. And to round up our interview, Nyoh Derek, we will want to know what kind of advice will you give to youth and young players who would like to be like you in future?
Okay. For younger players, especially younger players in our African context, who want to also be great and aspiring to be great, I will advise you that you should work. You should work really hard. You should work. If you're interested in the sports table tennis, you should make it a personal affair. It should come from within. You shouldn't play table tennis because of somebody or someone, because it's a sport that demands a lot from you, and if you're willing to become a good player, you should be ready to work, and it's going to be a daily work, because in Africa there's that context that it's a sport where, like a lazy man sport, of which it's actually the reverse, because it's one of the sports that demands so much training. You know, when you train reflex, you train a lot.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of sports that you will train. I don't want to compare with other sports and say in table tennis you train more than a footballer or a
basketballer
or so. But I would say personally, you should be ready to work, younger players, and know it demands a lot of hard work, and you should be ready for it.
This hard work that you're talking about, we've seen it, this endurance, we've seen you forgo a lot of things. Can you mend them in a way that they focus more on this sport? Because a lot of them do work hard but don't see the results. Some of them, before you were #1, some of them were #1 before you, and it discouraged a lot of youth. At this point in time, apart from extra work, which some of them are already doing, what else will you tell them? Should they forgo every other thing just for table tennis? You're a medical student, and you're pulling on well, #1, and one of the best rankings in Africa. What will you tell them exactly?
Yes, I will share you a small secret.
Yeah.
It hasn't been really that all good for me. Because table tennis came to me like, I think God always wanted me to play table tennis, and also wants me to become a good doctor. So there have been moments where I have had to be slow with my studies. Sometimes, you know, you have to strike a balance, because most of the times, as you see great champions, especially those who have done sports and succeeded, you always find stories like their parents were never with them, but when they saw their love and stuff like that,
and they came back to
say, no, that was my child. Yes. So I am from a family where table tennis is not what they want me to play. They feel like it has caused me to be slow
in your education.
Which is true. I think they have an honest point, and they were not really willing to support me all through this journey in table tennis.
But now that you're #1, now that you're #1, have they come back to their?
My thing, I would just say my parents still need to see more. They need to see more of me improve in the sport. So going back to your question, I think younger players, you don't need to forgo, you don't need to give all your life to table tennis and forgo your studies, because you never know. I think the best in the world I've got certificates in school. World #1 and one of the best players of all time, Marlon, has a master's degree. One of the youngest rising stars, Harimoto Tomokazu of Japan, just graduated from college 2 months ago. So it's to say table tennis grades also make it in school, and that has also motivated me to not give up my medical studies, my medical dreams of becoming a medical doctor for table tennis, and not also give up my wish of becoming a great table tennis player in Cameroon. So I would say younger players, work, be disciplined, listen to your parents, be disciplined, schedule your time, train hard, study hard, and do what it takes, and pray, and above all, put God first.
Now, Nyoh Derek, thank you very much. We're going to round up. We're going to have one of these young players that will actually ask you a question. But before he comes on to ask you a question, I'm going to give you some names, and you tell me what you think about those names in Cameroon. If I tell you Alain Florent Esomba, or Yannick Amugo, or Mercy Tain, or Formon Victorine, or Ngobikai Elise, what do those names bring to you?
They bring a lot. Alain Florent Esomba, the first name you mentioned, is known as Le Pape in Cameroon.
Yeah, that's the Pope of table tennis in Cameroon. We've had him here also in our studios.
Yes. He's been Cameroon champions for more than 5, 6, I think 7 times.
Decades, yeah.
He's one of the people who have laid a good base for Cameroon table tennis. You mentioned Taï Mercy.
The female.
She's one of the best female Cameroon table tennis players we've had. She's also been Cameroon champion several times.
Victorine Formon.
You mentioned Victorine Formon. She's personally an inspiration for most in the field of sports in Cameroon. I think she has done great for Cameroon table tennis. She represented Cameroon at the Olympic Games in Beijing. She did a lot at the level of Africa, and she's active in sports, and she's always there to encourage young people to progress. You mentioned Elise Gobikai. She's one of the female players who have also been great. She has been Cameroon champion too. And my friend and colleague, you didn't mention this one, but I will say it.
Ngwe Emmanuel. Ngwe, there are a lot of them. Because I mean, it comes from generation. When we start mentioning Yannick Amugo, Ngwe Emmanuel, you see, those are people. Those are your generations already. So, do you have any word for those?
Yes, they are all great players, and they keep motivating me in one way or the other. And I think they are all great champions, and they have made a mark in Cameroon table tennis, and they still continue to do. And yes, that's basically what I can say.
Okay, we'll now welcome the youth that has to ask you questions concerning table tennis.